The Ultimate Bite-Sized Entrepreneur Trilogy. 76 Ways to Boost Time, Productivity, and Focus on Your Big Idea. Written by Damon Brown. Narrated by Damon Brown. Dedicated to Bernadette Johnson. Thank you for clearing a path, Mom. What is the work that you can't not do? Scott Dinsmore, How to Find the Work You Love. Forward. I wrote the Bite-Sized Entrepreneur book to understand how things manifested so quickly. 3 years before writing it, I was a San Franciscan tech journalist seriously dating a wonderful woman. Less than 1,000 days later, I was a married San Diegan in a house with a white picket fence, seriously, taking care of my 1-year-old son and reeling from the sale of my first startup, Cuddler. How did I transform so quickly? Like Marcus Aurelius' Meditations or Henry David Thoreau's Walden, this book was an elaborate note to self. What remains humbling is that you have experienced the same question. How can I fulfill my calling while keeping my life intact? I'm honored to be on this journey with you, and this special edition captures the best of the Bite-Sized Entrepreneur Trilogy, along with exclusive discussions directly influenced by meeting people like you during my talks all around the world. Whenever I'm in need, I love to pull my favorite philosophical book off the shelf, pick a random page, and take in the wisdom. It always seems to be what I need to hear at the time. My intention and my hope is that this ultimate collection to play the same role in your life. Damon Brown, November 2017. Book 1, The Bite-Sized Entrepreneur. Introducing you, the Bite-Sized Entrepreneur. I never intended to be an entrepreneur. I just had an idea. At the time, I was a freelance tech journalist living in San Francisco. A friend of mine was struggling to remember a quote. I asked, innocently, "Isn't there an app for that?" There wasn't, and I found myself turning into an entrepreneur for the same reason most creators do. I realized something I needed did not exist, and if I didn't create it, it might never exist. The odd part wasn't the journey to creating what will become the app so quotable. It was who was actually making the journey. I wasn't a young, hooded Harvard dropout like Facebook's Zuckerberg, nor was I a brash, brilliant college dropout like Apple's Jobs, nor a rich, hip, LA kid like Snapchat's Spiegel. I was a journalist and author, an African-American man in his mid-30s who, aside from negotiating rates with magazines, had no business experience. In fact, at the time, I was about to propose to my now wife. By the time So Quotable ramped up to launch 3 years later, I had bought my first home, married that longtime girlfriend, and had our first kid. In the midst of the launch, a colleague helping out on the tech side bailed, and I found myself learning Apple's iPhone programming language with one hand while rocking my newborn in the other spare arm. I wasn't sure if the app, or even I, would make it to the finish line, but I also had not felt so alive in a long time. I'd wake up in the middle of the night with new ideas and realize elegant solutions to my app challenges during dinner time. It was like I had 2 babies instead of just 1. It was the passion to make my mark. I wasn't staying up late and getting up ridiculously early to watch my favorite show or to have me time. It was a nobler cause. I was also doing things my way. Instead of staying in Silicon Valley, ditching my girlfriend, and dressing like a college student, I moved out of Silicon Valley, settled down behind the proverbial white picket fence, and created the type of entrepreneurial life that I envisioned. And to my surprise, it worked. So Quotable launched in time for my first TED Talk and gained a great cult following. The success connected me with 2 others to launch Cuddler, a social platonic app for connecting for hugs. Cuddler hit number 1 on the Apple App Store twice, got us on the cover of the Wall Street Journal, and was acquired less than a year after it arrived. I handled the Cuddler launch through daily 4 a.m. Skype calls with my international colleagues, with occasional breaks to coax my new toddler back to sleep. The truth is that success didn't happen with the media coverage, the TED Talk, or even the Cuddler acquisition.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?